The wife and son of Gabon's former president have been transferred from prison to house arrest following pressure from the African Union. The two have been in custody since Ali Bongo was removed from power in a military coup over a year and a half ago. The two have been accused of crimes including embezzlement and money laundering. It is unclear as to when they might stand trial for the alleged crimes. And to discuss this further, we are joined on the line by political analyst Dr. Shingai Mutizwa-Mangiza. Dr. Mutizwa-Mangiza, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Now, how important is it for the former president's family to have been removed from prison?
Well, I think it comes as a significant development. As you know, for over the past year and a half, they had been detained, or should we say imprisoned, within the what we understand are the jail cells, or the cells that are located in the basement of the presidential palace. They were arrested on the accusation, or rather on the reports, that at the time when the coup took place, the First Lady and the first son, Nuruddin Ali Bongo, were actually found to have been in possession of trunks, should I say, filled with millions of foreign currency in euro. So that is the basis of this. So I think this comes as a significant development. We understand that for quite some time, the deposed president, Ali Bongo, had been calling for them to join him in under house arrest. He himself was put under house arrest on account of his medical condition, having suffered a stroke, which had incapacitated him. And so he had been calling for quite some time for them to join him. It was something that he had been lamenting for quite some time. So it does come as a significant development.
Still unclear as to when the two will appear in court to face the charges that they have against them. Could we say this? Could we see that this will be carry on for a number of years? Are there any time limits? Are there any indications as to what is going to happen going forward? Or is it a case of the African Union also intervening in this particular case?
I think what would have happened, of course, there was the intervention of the African Union to have brought about this particular outcome. As you know, Gabon had been suspended from the African Union partly on account of this. So there is a sense that this was part of a broader deal. Gabon has since been readmitted to the African Union following, of course, the election. But of course, I would imagine that this was part and parcel of the behind-the-scenes negotiation. Now, as to when this trial would likely take place, it's difficult to say. But one would imagine that presumably within the coming months, maybe in the perhaps even next year, we would see something. At least see some sort of formal proceeding being initiated or put into place. But as I said, it's difficult to say at this stage. What the timelines are in regard to that. But I would imagine that, given that this has happened, the pressure would be mounting for there to be some sort of formal legal proceeding to take place. Otherwise, it will end up being viewed as simply being politically targeted arrest or being malicious, which, of course, I'm sure the current regime or the newly elected administration will be trying hard to distance itself from, and trying to show that this is rather, as a result of a free and fair legal proceeding.
For interest's sake, are there indications as to where the trunks of money have been taken? What's happened to those euros and American dollars that were found there?
Yeah, that is a curious case. It's at this stage there is no available information. Presumably, this information would have been collected either as part of evidence. I don't know whether it's been it's being kept as part of evidence, exhibits that will be used against them in trial. Whether this has been returned to the Treasury, it's difficult to say. But one thing we do know is that last year, for instance, among one of the few statements that we did hear from President Ali Bongo former President Ali Bongo, should I say, when he was interviewed, is that, other than these trunks that we are talking about, he is supposed to have been shown a dossier of accounts, reportedly accounts which were opened by his wife and his son. Some reported to be in Malaysia, some even here in South Africa. He himself immediately denied it, saying that his wife would have not been privy to this, and he has also insisted that successive finance ministers would have information regarding the whereabouts of these accounts or the authenticity of these accounts. Suffice to say, we haven't heard anything further to that. But I suppose that these are things that information that we'd hope would come out, from a trial, when it does take place. I'm sure, perhaps, maybe if we even were to look at some of any available data that maybe organizations such as Transparency International would have, that this information would probably might be available, at least in as far as trying to identify any illicit monies that may have been obtained by the former First Family.
Well, Dr. Mutizwa-Mangiza, thank you for joining us on Africa Update. We'll leave it there for today.